Good morning, guys. Myself, Professor Dhaval Chandrana, and we are continuous on unit number 1 of cybersecurity subject. We are discussing more stuff of system vulnerability scanning overview. As previously, we will discuss some details things about a port number, or we can say a open port number. In previous lecture, we will discuss what is open port, what are the different common open port available in our computer system, and the last, if some hacker found open port in our computer system, then how we can lose a prior security parameters like confidentiality, integrity and availability with help of computer open port. So guys, today we will discuss one of the important concept on a form of practical point of view. It's a different port scanning techniques. As previously we will discuss so many times, the basic and fundamental things which should be performed by the hackers. First, they found a open port in our computer system. If they found those kind of open ports through which they perform the vulnerability scanning, and after gaining the results of vulnerability scanning, they can easily get all the unnecessary requests which are unauthorizedly access our computer system data. They can install malware software, they can get a remote access through which they can perform all the unlegitimate activity in our computer system without any kind of permissions. So guys, we will discuss a today's note of different port scanning techniques. I hope you like those videos, and please go through my videos if you have found any doubts regarding any points of unit number 1 as well as a cybersecurity subject. So we will start with the different techniques or different port scanning techniques. First technique which we are discussing in today's lecture is Address Resolution Protocol 9 ARP. The ARP scan tool is a very fast ARP packet scanners that shows every activity IPv4 device on your subnets, because we are not updating our security techniques to IPv4 to IPv6. We are currently working on IPv4 for the remote connections, or we can say internet activities. ARP, or we can say Address Resolution Protocol, find an activity device on the local network segments by sending series of ARP broadcast packets. As we mentioned that it is ARP broadcast packets, means there are no any kind of destination is fixed. They are just broadcasting packets. Those who are accepting those packets means they are open ports. Means through those techniques they can found that which segment it should be activated and which computer segment is not activated. Because if they are accepting packets, it means that they are active in on internet. And if they are not accepting or they are not relieve these kind of packets which should be broadcasting by the ARP protocol, then it should be not activated computer system on internet. So it is one of the best and fast techniques to identify a open port. Second techniques, it is vanilla TCP connect scan. The most basic scan and attempt to connect to all the 65,536 port which we are part of UDP or TCP, which we are discussing in our previous lectures, once at a time. So it is really useful tool because they are scanning all the ports which should be maximum available in computer system within the single time. A vanilla scan is a full connect scan, means it sends a synchronized flag request to connect, and upon receiving a synchronous acknowledgement of connections response sends back an acknowledge flag. Means it's just provide the complete transactions between two systems which we are using the synchronized acknowledgement and synchronized flags. This synchronized acknowledgement and acknowledgement flag exchange compromise a TCP handshake, because before communicating with the remote server, this thing is prior thing to performing or verifying they are active or they are able to respond or requesting through which they can identify a handshake protocol. Full connect scan are accurate but very easily detect because full connections are always locked by the firewall. We know that if a single packet is sent by unknown users and if we are rejected, then our system is protected. But in a full scan, it should be really easy to identify unknown users which should be request to connect our system. So it's basic, important, but if unauthorized users can perform those vanilla TCP connection scan, then they can easily found on the internet they are unknowing accessing. So we see that how a vanilla TCP connection scan with help of figures. First, attacker performs the synchronized message on the targeted host. If server provides the synchronized acknowledgement, then the attacker sends the acknowledgement packet. In between those three activity, if a targeted host found that it is an unknown user, then they can directly refuse those kind of activity. Like a attacker performs the synchronized packet to the targeted host reset acknowledgement, means they found that this is unknown using, or we can say they are unknowing users to access our system, so they can directly reject those kind of acknowledge. And if they are reject those kind of packet, then connection it's never be performed or never be establishment. So as a previously we will discuss, it is a really useful thing for a legitimate user, not for the attacker, because it is a complete connections packet. In any of the packet, a targeted host found that it is not legal users, they can directly reject those kind of requests. So connection it's never be establishment and our system is safe. Third techniques of port scanning technique is known as TCP synchronized scan. TCP synchronized scan is half open scan. As previously vanilla scan is full open scan, but there are some disadvantage for the attacker. Then a TCP synchronized scan, it is a half open scan, is a smarter version of TCP connect scan. Since we know that the target host will respond with the RST reset if the port is closed or synchronized SEK, as previously we see in a figure, if the port is open, means if they are sending RST packet, means the port number is closed, your connection is never be establishment through this port number. And if they are send a SY and SEK packets, means you are welcoming to communicate with my servers. There is no need to complete the three-way handshake with the final SEK response. In this TCP scan, why it says that half open scan? Because in a previous case or previous scan, we send the SY SEK, then also attacker want to send a SEK packet for the complete connections. But in a TCP scan, there is no need to scan final SEK response. Thus, the only half of the connection is established to the targeted port to deduce the port stats. As a precautions to finalize the TCP synchronized scan, a RST is sent to the targeted host to avoid a synchronized flooding denial of services attack. We gone through the synchronized flooding as well as denial of services is nothing but to provide those kind of unlegitimate flooding packets to busying our computer system, and on those busy period of time they can gain our access. So a vanilla scan is a full scan because they require a final SEK response, but in a TCP scan it is a half open scan because on the later on there no need to require a final SEK response. But guys, please focus on it. If server send RST, it means a connection never be establishment through this port number. So it is one of the case which we need to know about RST as well as synchronized SEK. Next one is it a TCP synchronized scan is more friendly than a TCP connects approach because a complete connection is never establishment, thus reducing a risk of detections, because a connection is never be completed or connection never be completely availability as compared with the TCP connection. So if your connection is not complete, then your risk is always be detected, because if you are provide a final SDK, then you can easily found that you are not legitimate users. So through the TCP synchronized scan, connection is never establishment, thus reducing a risk of detections, because if hacker found the RST, then they can directly use another port number, and which they are found another users and they can gain access. So guys, I think you are clear what is the difference between vanilla TCP scan and TCP SYN scan. Now another thing, it is a TCP FIN scanning. It has the ability to pass undetected through the most firewall, packet filters and the scan detections program. Just the only single line that explain that how a TCP FIN scanning is dangerous for our computer system. I will just repeat this line. It has the ability to pass undetected through the most firewall, packet filters and the scan detection system program. If they are passed, then our computer system is provide a open port scanning permissions, and if they provide the permission, then we know that how a system is accessible with the unauthorized users. The attacking system send a FIN packet to the targeted system. The closed port will respond with the RST, because it is the identifications that the RST is nothing but a closed port. The open ports will ignore the packets. The attacking system will take note of which port is received and RST on the reports on the ports that did not respond with an RST. It is a really intelligence technique. If you are responding with RST, then it is easy to find out that a port is closed. But if you are not sending any response, it means they can directly identify that those port is open, because if a port is closed, then it's directly sent by RST, and if you are ignoring, it means your port is open. That's why it is really dangerous for a computer system. Next technique, it is FTP bounce attack. The FTP bounce attack use the FTP protocol support for the proxy FTP connections. It means that the attacker can hide behind an FTP server and scan another targets without being detected. Means it work on a concept of FTP. So normal user never be identified that it is one of the attack or it is one of the port scanning technique or it's work on a FTP port, because FTP port is a common open port which we are discussed in a previous lecture. If the FTP server allow reading from and writing to a directory, then attacker can send arbitrary data to the ports, then attacker find the opens, because FTP is nothing but the file transfer protocol through which user can easily access our data with help of some kind of permissions. Then if a unlegitimate user gains those kind of permissions, they can directly attack our those open port which work on a FTP base, and if they found, then they are performing a FTP bounce attack with help of port scanning techniques. The downside is that the most FTP server have this service disabled. That's why whenever we are using the FTP services, we disable those FTP services because of this FTP bounce attack. Because if we are allowing those FTP attacks, or we can say FTP services, then unauthorized users can easily gain access through the FTP and they are performing bounce attack with help of FTP common port number. Next techniques, it is a TCP SEK scan. TCP SEK scan sends a SAP packets to the target port in order to determine whether a port is filtered or unfiltered. As previously we'll discuss two different variants of TCP like vanilla scan, a TCP port scan, through which hacker can gain the information against an open port or closed port. Now we discuss the third variations of TCP known as SEK scan, through which they found that, or hacker can found that port is filtered or unfiltered. For unfiltered ports, a RST reply packets will send for the both open and closed port. Means any port is unfiltered, then if a port is open or closed, they can directly send a RST packets. Filter ports will result in either no response or an ICMP destination unreachable reply packets. Internet Control Mail Protocol means there are the variations of two packets, filtered and unfiltered port. If an unfiltered port found, then they can directly send RST packet. A port is open or closed. But a filter port means a secure port through which if any unauthorized users can perform the TCP/SCK scan, then if they found a filter port, then they never respond those kind of requests, or they are sending ICMP destinations unreachable reply packets. So hacker can never access through those kind of filter ports if they are performing TCP/SCK scan. This approach is useful to get through the stateless firewall, which block the incoming connections by blocking incoming synchronized packet. And what is the requirement of synchronized packet? As previously we will see a figure. If a connection is must be establishment, at that time a synchronized packet must be sent from the server to the client. Without synchronize, a full connections or a half connection not be establishment. So in the TCP/SCK, they are blocking those kind of incoming synchronized packet, so our system is 50% is secure. But allowing the SCK packets to get through the allow internal host to the communications with the rest of internet, because they are knowing internal host, and if an internal host become a hacker, then we can't do anything, because on some prior nodes we allowing those kind of hosts, it must be on a same network, and for this they are allowing SCK packet. For rest of they are blocking those synchronized packet, and if a synchronized packet block, then communications never be establishment, and if it's not, then our system is secure on a internet. So it is the TCP/SCK will not work with a stateful firewall, because they are not allowing any of the packet which should be connected outside of network. So that's why it mentions that TCP/SCK will not work with a stateful firewall. It's work only a stateless firewall. And the next one, it is a TCP null scan. It is one of the variations of TCP. An attacker use a TCP null scans to determine if a ports are closed on the targeted machines. If the targeted TCP port is closed, the port will send RST. We know that. If the port is open, the port will ignore the packets. This also we discuss in a TCP half scan. Null scanning requires the use of raw sockets and thus cannot be performed from some Windows system. Means a null packet, it is the third version where system never send RST and ignoring the packets. Between those two things, if the person or people, or we can say computer system, not performing any of the services, at that time TCP null scan is work. And how they works? A null scanning requires to use a raw sockets through which open ports can be found, and thus cannot be performed from some Windows system, because every Windows system have its private firewall as well as private security patch. They are not allowing those kind of null scan through which hacker can access a port scanning techniques. Next one, the UDP ICMP port scan. This port scan is successfully finding a high numbers of ports, especially in a Solaris system. The scan is slow and unreliable. It is one of the technique because a UDP is always works on wireless network, and if some of the system or some of the techniques works on wireless technology, then it's never be relied, because they are not guaranteed that the scan result it must be a accurate one or not accurate one. So that's why a UDP ICMP port scan is never be reliable, as well as they are not accurate as much as a TCP connections or TCP different variants can. It should be provide the actual results. So guys, it is the different techniques which we are discuss a different port scanning technique in this video lecture. I hope you are like this video. I hope you are understand the basic fundamental techniques which is part of port scanning techniques, and my main focus is to define this video lecture is that to find out the difference between a different scan techniques, and based on the different scan technique results, what are the different activity performed by the hackers. I hope you are enjoy this video lecture. Thank you so much.